Hello, Fuse Nation. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of Fusion News. Today is February 26, 2018. The Yankees started their spring training last week, and they're 3-0 right now. And I am joined by Jack Curry, Yes Network pre and post game analyst. Jack, what exactly is the key to the Yankees' success in this 2018 season?
Well, Alex, if you look at the way the Yankees are built, this is a team that's built to go to the World Series, and if you're going to the World Series, you might as well win it. I think their lineup is as ferocious as any lineup in Major League Baseball. I think if you're looking for keys, everyone says this, it's a cliche, but it's true. It's stay healthy, and then it's also getting the most out of their rotation. They're starting this season with the same 5 starters that they ended last season with. I know that Brian Cashman and his front office are still looking for a potential 6th starter to add another starter to that mix at some point. I think they will do that. Maybe not necessarily before opening day, but I think they'll keep their eyes open to see who's out there. But Alex, this team needs to just play the way it is supposed to play, and it could be another very exciting October for Yankee fans.
Mm-hmm. Look, the Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton. They have a new manager in Aaron Boone. They have a really good team. That team needs a team is that they got rid of guys that made contact, got those singles, those doubles. You can't always win a game with home runs and strikeouts, in my opinion. They got rid of Chase Headley and they got rid of Starlin Castro. So how will that affect this 2018 Yankee season?
I think you make a very interesting point, and you're right. You go up and down that lineup, they do have a lot of guys who swing and miss. But I think if you look at the lineup as a whole, a guy like Gardner is going to see a lot of pitches, and he's not a guy who's going to strike out a lot. Judge, though he strikes out a lot, still has a high on-base percentage. He still sees a lot of pitches. So I go through that lineup, and if I were the Yankees, I'd focus on the glass being half full, not the glass being half empty. I think that teams are going to be intimidated by this lineup. I don't think that this lineup, not having Chase Headley and Starlin Castro, is going to end up being something that they rue the day that they lost those 2 guys. I really don't see that happening. I think Drury ends up being a nice fit at third base. I think with some of the changes he made in his swing, you're looking at a guy who might be a 25-homer guy. And then at some point this season, it might not be to start the season, Gleyber Torres will be your second baseman. And to me, he's an upgrade over Starlin Castro. He's a budding young star. So I think that they're going to end up being fine offensively.
Jack, the Yankees have an outfield problem. They have Giancarlo Stanton, they have Ellsbury, they have Hicks, they have Gardner, and possibly Clint Frazier. And I know, according to Larry on Facebook, that you are not an Ellsbury fan and that you like Hicks. So, so what do you feel about this Yankee outfield this upcoming season?
Well, I love how Larry on Facebook broke that down. I think what I said or have said and written is that the Yankees have said that they prefer Aaron Hicks as their starting center fielder. In fact, General Manager Brian Cashman has talked about that being his job to lose. I don't really think they have an outfield problem, Alex. The way I look at it is Stanton and Judge are virtually playing every day. One day, one of them might be a DH. One day, they might both be in the corners, left field and right field. I think Hicks is your starting center fielder. I think they may slide Gardner over there on selected days. I think Gardner will play left field at home at Yankee Stadium because it's such an expansive left field. I'm not sure you want Judge or Stanton trying to handle that, but I think you go on the road to Baltimore and Boston, smaller left fields. That's where you might be able to put a Judge or a Stanton in left field and not be as worried about it. Yes, Ellsbury is the 5th outfielder right now, and he's a very high-paid outfielder. He's owed $68 million over the next 3 years, but he has the chance to beat out Hicks. He has the chance to earn back some playing time. Right now, I don't think that is going to happen, but it could happen during the season. Hicks also was on the DL twice last year, and for all the people clamoring for Clint Frazier, he's on the outside looking in right now, and he has options. And when you have options, you could be the obvious guy to go back to AAA, and I think as things stand right now, that's what his future will be.
Also with Clint Frazier, he has a slight concussion. How is that hurting the Yankees, and when do you see Clint Frazier back on the field?
Yeah, I saw the Yankees reported that today. I'm actually not in Tampa right now. I came home for a few days, so I saw that they reported the concussion. Anytime that happens, Alex, you have to be careful. There's a concussion protocol that he has to go through. I saw Boone quoted telling reporters that it will be at least a few days. So, again, I think even if Clint Frazier had had a superb spring, he probably was still a guy who was going to land at AAA. Now he's just going to be a few more days behind. But you want your players to be healthy, especially when you're talking about concussions and possible brain injuries. I mean, the Yankees are going to make sure that they're going to be very cautious with making sure that he comes back, that everything is 100% ready to go.
Definitely. We'll switch gears now and talk the pitching rotation. You said earlier that the Yankees are bringing back the 5 starters they finished the season with last year. They re-signed CC Sabathia to a 1-year deal. How effective do you feel like CC Sabathia is to this Yankee team, and how important is his role?
Alex, you broke up for 1 second. Who did you? I missed the last pitcher you mentioned.
CC Sabathia. How effective will he be to this Yankee team, and how important is his role for the Yankees?
That's what I thought you said. I think that bringing back CC Sabathia was a smart move by the Yankees, because you look at the season he had last year. He gave them 150 solid innings. He is a guy, Alex, now who pitches more than he throws. I talked to him about that this spring training, and he said he actually enjoys pitching more now because it's more of a challenge. He's got to be a little more of an artist out there. He has to figure out what pitches are working, what batters might be sitting on, and he basically has to outwit them. On top of what he can give the Yankees on the field, Alex, he is a very important player in their clubhouse. He and Brett Gardner, I think, are the 2 leaders on this team, and that makes sense since they are the 2 longest tenured Yankees. And even in spring training, I was watching some of the younger Yankee players, Sheffield, Adams, talking to CC Sabathia, him getting his points across to them. So I think when they brought him back, they not only brought back a pitcher who can be very effective, they brought back somebody who could be another coach, I'll put in quotes, in clubhouse, because he's done so much.
Definitely. Jack, we look at the bullpen issues at the end of last season. How effective will Dellin Betances be to this Yankee team? And if he really fixes his things, his mechanics down in spring training, he has to be that effective relief pitcher that they had in him a few seasons ago.
Yeah, I had this conversation with Chad Green. I said to Chad Green, how amazing is your bullpen going to be, especially if Betances is back to who he was? And Chad Green's eyes got wide, and he started talking about all the power arms that they have and the ability to get strikeouts. And Alex, I'm bullish on Dellin Betances. I think he comes back and is strong this year. I know how much he struggled from September 1st on. I know that he became mostly a non-entity in the postseason because Girardi didn't go to him. I don't think that what Dellin Betances accomplished before he struggled last September was a mirage. This guy throws 98, 99. He's got 2 breaking pitches. His curveball is a pitch that just absolutely flusters batters. Yes, you mentioned the mechanics. He's got to tighten things up. He's got to be able to self-correct. He talked about fastball command and just he needs to know where his fastball is going. Sometimes he became too reliant on that breaking pitch, but I think, Alex, that he's going to come back this year and be a solid performer for the Yankees. I don't think he's going to come back and struggle.
Do you have a favorite moment covering this Yankee team, or do you feel like maybe we're looking possibly towards this favorite moment this upcoming season?
You mean in all of my years of covering the Yankees, or the most recent vintage of Yankees?
Let's go all of the years that you've covered the Yankees.
I started covering the Yankees in '91, Alex, which is before you were even born. And they struggled. Covering those teams in '91 and '92 and even '93 when they were starting to be on the upswing a little bit, there was a lot of losing. So I remember in '96, the Joe Torre's first year, Derek Jeter's first year, I enjoyed covering that team because all of the work that the Yankee organization had put in, and some of the people were no longer there. Buck Showalter, of course, replaced by Torre. To see that team finally get a World Series title, and I remember sitting in the press box as Wade Boggs was riding on a horse at Yankee Stadium after the game, one of the police horses, and that kind of imprint sticks with me, how hard that team had worked to get there and finally had the success they were hoping they'd have.
That game was in 1996, right?
1996, October of '96, they beat the Braves in the World Series. the famous Charlie Hayes catching the ball over in foul territory down the third base line. Yep. Pretty memorable season and a memorable series.
My dad and uncle were at that game. So, and my dad's a Red Sox fan, and and I've grown up a Yankee fan. So I've always joked I want to watch the better baseball team on the TV. Well, he won the past few arguments a few years ago.
At that game.
Yeah, well, he wore a Yankee hat that game, so he was a Yankee fan for one day.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, Jack, before I wrap up this interview, one last question. Over under 100 home runs between Judge and Giancarlo Stanton this upcoming season.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Man, I'm going to say slightly under.
Okay.
Because I know they hit 111 last year, but it's hard to do what those two players did last year. You never know if injuries might factor in. I mean, if you end up spending one 15-day or 10-day stint on the DL, that can impact. I'm going to say slightly under, maybe in the high 90s.
All right. Well, that sounds good for Yankee fans, right?
Absolutely. I think if you told the Yankees right now you'd get 98 out of Stanton and Judge, however the breakdown was, I think they'd be pretty happy.
Definitely. Well, Jack, I want to say thank you again for coming on my show today. And where can the Yankee fans follow along with you on social media?
I'm on Twitter. It's @JackCurryYes. And if they are big Aaron Judge fans, we've got a special on Aaron Judge coming up Sunday, March 4th, the Yankee Access Show. I spent a day out in California with Aaron Judge. So check out Yes on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock if you want to see that show.
Perfect. I'm on my way down to Florida, a Yankees spring training game next week, so I'm looking forward to it. And I know you'll be back down in Tampa soon, right?
Absolutely. Look for me. Let me know when you're down there, Alex.
All right. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks again for coming on tonight.
All right. Good luck. Take care.
Thank you. All right, Fusation, you just heard it from the Jack Curry from Yes Network. We talked the Yankees. He gave his prediction of the over-under for home runs for Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Like I said, it is going to be one of the most anticipated Yankee seasons in many, many years. Thank you again, Fusation, for watching. Be a subscriber of Fusion News. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away 2 regular season Yankee tickets to this upcoming season. Thanks again for watching. Be a subscriber, be a follower, and be a part of the Fuse Nation. Thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching.